Welcome back to New Rockstars! I'm Erik Voss. It's the end of the year of 2023, and Marvel Studios is scaling back in full effect in 2024. But you know what? There are lots of other movies that we at New Rockstars are looking ahead at, and other TV shows that we're just excited about in the new year. We've seen new trailers for The Boys, House of the Dragon, Dune Part 2, Furiosa, Godzilla X Kong. They've all dropped in the past few weeks. We are counting down our top 5 most anticipated movies and TV shows of 2024. And of course I say we because this is a sneak peek where we're taking the temperature of the future of nerddom, and joining me to look ahead into 2024, my number one, Jessica Clemons.
Hi. Oh, number 1. But I just did a number 2.
Thank you for sharing, for starting off the new year with a bit of honesty. I'm gonna call back to it so many times throughout this, and we're never.
Edit that out. No, I'm joking. You keep it. It's funny. It's the new year. I'm trying to be a comedian.
Okay, well, we're gonna alternate. We're gonna start with Jess's number 5, then my number 5, and we'll go down. And if there's any overlap, we'll just talk about it when we get to the higher ranking, because the person who ranked it higher clearly cares about it more.
That is true.
All right, Jess, we'll start. What is your number 5 most anticipated film of 2024?
My number 5, so lowest on the list, but also still very high. It's perfect where it is. I'm doing Wicked. And damn well it's because I'm a musical theater lover, and I'm very excited to see what it's gonna do. And you got 2 of the greatest TV series. I say TV singers because I only know Ariana Grande for that one Nickelodeon show. But I'm like, she has a great voice. Cynthia is amazing. I'm so excited to see what it's gonna do. One of my favorite musicals of all time.
Oh my God, this is going to be incredible. John Chu of Crazy Rich Asians is directing it. Wicked, I went through a Wicked phase in high school where I was obsessed with it. I worked at a Boy Scout summer camp, and I didn't tell the other guys I worked with, but literally every day on my break, I would go back and nap, and I would listen to Wicked and just chill out. Just like, good news. And at some point, someone grabbed the headphones off my head, and they're like, what are you listening to? And it was like, something bad is happening in Oz. And I was like, give me those. No. It's like something bad is like the worst song. The others are good.
That's me with, and I only say it's the worst song because I'm just embarrassed because it is the song. But like, I auditioned so many musicals with Popular that it's insane.
It's one of the best shows.
And I was like, this is me. Let's do it. I love this. Number 5 though. Number 5 on my list.
And isn't it like Wicked Part 1? Aren't they doing like 2 Wickeds?
It's gonna be 2. That's what I'm scared about. That's the part that I'm scared about. But I love Crazy Rich Asians. He will never come back with a second one. No. I'm looking directly in the camera for this because I need you to come up with a second Crazy
I don't
Rich
know.
Asians.
I don't know if they will. I don't know.
They're never going to.
Yeah, I don't know.
Gemma Chan is never going to get her story, and I'm very upset about it. But regardless, I'm very excited for Wicked. I'm only nervous about it being 2 parts, but I'm going to go see it.
I mean, that finale, just doing Defying Gravity to end a film, like that will be insane. That's going to blow people's minds. Although, will it have the same effect on screen that it will on stage?
You have to make it look, you have to like, she's going to have to belt it, and I'm going to have to feel it in the chair. Like, I'm seeing it in IMAX, but like, she's going to have to do a lot for that to like transfer from stage to film. On film, I'll just be like, oh yeah, of course. On stage, I was like, this woman is defying gravity.
She's flying.
She's literally flying. And then they do intermission right then. It was intermission.
Okay, my number 5 is Pixar's Inside Out 2. Obviously, I'm a little biased. Yeah. My wife works on this movie at Pixar, but I'm so excited for this movie. It looks so good. We saw a teaser for it. The first Inside Out was such an important movie for me. I literally watched it the weekend my apartment burned down, and I just needed some like healing. And I went to go see that movie, and it was like I was sobbing the whole time, and I was like, yes, our feelings can change over time, and like we need sadness, we need grief that helps us heal. So just, I just know the people working on this movie are some of the like brightest and most like thoughtful, most empathetic storytellers. So I'm just really excited to see what they do with it.
I will never not cry at Inside Out. And I didn't put it on this list because I'm not ready to cry in 2024. My New Year's resolution, not crying. I'm not crying once all of 2024. Believe it. And that will make me cry. Look, nothing here. I'm so excited for Inside Out too. It's gonna be so freaking good. It's gonna be so good. I'm so excited. Oh my god. Do you want to know my 4?
Yeah, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is Beetlejuice 2. And before anyone says anything, Wednesday turned out to be a pretty good show. And so that's where I'm like, I am excited to see what they're going to do with Beetlejuice 2. And also bringing back Michael Keaton is the most insane, unhinged idea. And they're doing it. They're doing it.
It could work. It could work. There's the first Beetlejuice is a very weird movie. He's an adult
like
ghost
everything too,
who tries to marry a teenager. It works somehow.
We all were like, "Damn, that's crazy." None of us were like, "This is a problem." This is weird. It's funny too because in the Beetlejuice musical, they address it. They're always like, "This is kind of like," they keep saying it. They say it, not me. They're like, "This is kind of like a green card thing," and I'm always like, "This is crazy that this is how they address it in the musical." But no, I'm excited. Jen Ortega changed my life, so I'm very excited.
All right, my number 4 is Furiosa: A Mad Max Saga.
Okay.
I'm
surprised it's at 4.
It's at 4. There's 3 other movies I'm just a bit more excited for. And I was expecting to put this at number 1 because Mad Max Fury Road is my favorite movie of 2015. This movie, I think, looks really good. That trailer got me going. I didn't really see the CGI issues that people had, but I think that there are like other places that I think fans of Fury Road could have taken it with, like Furiosa after the Citadel. But I do like that this preserves her ending as reclaiming the Citadel, and we get to see another chapter of her life. Because I don't know how else you build out. I mean, to have to maybe have Max be kind of like another helper to some other group of people in this wasteland would be a way to go. But I'm still really excited for it, just because I think George Miller with this franchise can do no wrong. Yeah, he's got that's such an amazing crew working with him in Australia. Like, it's going to be great.
I'm very excited for that one. Funny enough, didn't make it on my list.
Okay.
Very, very weirdly, did not make it on my list, and it probably should now that I think about it. But these 3 spots are very important. These next 3 spots. My number 3 is Deadpool 3. Is that weird for a middle? Is that weird for a middle spot?
No, I think that's a good spot to put it. I have that higher on my list, so let's save it for now.
Yeah, let's save it for now.
My number 3 is, we don't know anything about this movie, but we know it's coming. We know the director. It is Jordan Peele's 4th film.
You can't say that.
Yes, I can.
You can't
yes, I can.
choose something that doesn't even exist yet.
Yes, I can.
I mean, I know he's gonna come out with a movie.
It's coming. He's shooting it. We don't know anything about it. We'll probably hear soon. Maybe around the Super Bowl, we'll hear what it is. It's set for Christmas 2024 or like Thanksgiving 2024, but it's coming in the calendar year 2024. And the man has made 3 films, and I have loved each of them. So I think I'm just going to love the 3rd one. So I'm sorry to all you Pixar and Furiosa heads. Jordan Peele's movie it's right in my top 3.
If I knew I could have put a movie that didn't exist yet on the list, I probably would have put it as my number 1 because
there's still time, Jess.
No, because my number 1 makes sense. My number 1, I'm rooted in the ground for, and I have been for a very long time. But my number 2, which is kind of weird, my number 2 could slightly interchange with number 3, but number 2 is a little bit higher than number 3, and it's Dune 2.
Okay, so I'm going to do this to you again. Dune 2 is higher for me, so let's talk about Deadpool 3 and then Dune, and then we'll hear what your mystery number 1 is. So just to quickly spoil it, my number 2 was Deadpool 3, my number 1 is Dune Part 2. Let's talk about what are you excited about with Deadpool 3?
I'm excited for everything. I think the reason why I'm excited for everything, I'm so confused, but also very excited for everything that we've heard about it. But because of everything that has been released, all those set photos, everything that we're seeing, I'm seeing enough that I'm like, oh, I'm still anticipating it. I'm so excited for it. But the other 2, I don't know enough about. I have not seen a lot of the behind the scenes photos. I haven't seen no one has talked about anything else. So I'm like, oh, I'm like excited for Dune 2 a little bit more just because I haven't seen a lot of the information that is being released online for Deadpool 3.
I feel exactly the same way. Deadpool 3, I think there's a reason why Marvel is okay making that. It's one theatrical release of 2024. You have an amazing team here of, Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman and Sean Levy and like everyone else that they convinced to come back for it. I think it's going to be a real celebration of Marvel's history. I think it's going to be a lot of fun and exactly what Marvel needs right now. I think you just have a star-studded cast just with the two of them. And the only reason why it's not my number one is it's just like, is the Sean Levy of it all. Sean Levy, I think, is great. He seems like a really nice guy. He's got this Gavin Newsom thing going on.
Wait, and
to make it too political. Just the way he talks. He's got this grin on his face. It says California smile, like whatever you want to call that. But anyway, he hasn't made only perfect films. And two of the directors that I have on my list, or no, three of the directors I've had on my list have only really made great movies. So I just think Sean Levy, like some of the choices he's made with Stranger Things just get a little indulgent. Free Guy, I think, was just an okay movie. So there's a chance. I think it'll still be really, really good. It's my number 2.
I think Sean Levy is very good for Deadpool 3. And that's what choices for Stranger Things valid, understandable. Free Guy Free Guy, crazy, chaos. Night at the Museum, also chaos. But I think those can apply very well to Deadpool 3.
Yeah. Well, and the reason, Dune Part 2, I just think the first Dune was such an incredible film. I think Dune Part 2 is going to be even better. Denis Villeneuve understands this source material so well. And Dune Part 2 goes to even, like, the second half of Frank Herbert's novel just goes to, if anything, reading the book feels a little like it's like a sci-fi slog because so many other things, whether it's Star Wars or Blade Runner or a lot of other properties have kind of like made poppy versions of it. So it feels a little like dated, but they've lost what was so good about Frank Herbert's novel, which is like exposing the hypocrisy and bullshit of a chosen one mythology. And how it's all just corrupted by political influence and anti-religious bias and pro-religious bias and all this stuff. So I think Dune Part 2 is going to go to these really dark places. I think Denis Villeneuve is going to shoot it to look amazing. It already has shot it to look amazing. It's my most anticipated movie of 2024 by a long shot.
After hearing this, I'm like, yeah, Dune should have been my number 1. But
no.
Wait, did you say what your third was? What was your third?
Yeah. So my top 5 were Inside Out 2. Then number 4 was Furiosa. Number 3 was Jordan Peele's 4th movie.
I hate you. That's why I forgot it. That's why I forgot it.
3 was definitely number 1 was Dune.
Okay, perfect. My number 1, and this is Jessica Clemons. This is Jessica Clemons choosing number 1, not like Jessica, the film scholar, choosing number 1. Because I would have probably chose Dune. Is incredible. I am obsessed with Dune. It is. I'm so excited for it, but I'm slightly more excited for Joker 2.
I almost put it on my list. Joker Folie à Deux. Good pick. Good pick.
I'm waiting. I am seated, waiting for that goddamn movie to drop. What we have seen from like just people taking photos of them shooting in LA to what it's supposed to be to Lady Gaga. I'm just like, I had to say it that way. I genuinely am so enamored with what it could be and what it should be and what it's probably going to be, and I need to know, and I'm feasting, waiting upon it. Dune, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go see this. I'm so excited, but this, I'm like, I better be there before anyone can spoil it for me, and I better be the first row, like watching it, looking up, cranking my neck, dying. So that's my number 1 movie that I've been waiting for. Is Joker.
I think it's a valid choice. It narrowly missed out in my top 5 slot.
I'm surprised.
Because I'm super pumped for that.
I'm surprised. It's funny because it shouldn't be like it's not a 5. It's not a on the like the list. It's not at the bottom of the list. It's not a 5. It's definitely not a 4. But it should be in the top 3 of people's most anticipated.
I think it could be the Barbie of 2024, a movie that people are like have hesitation for, but it just has some magic to it that people lose their minds.
It feels like it is going to be Barbie and Oppenheimer put together. Spliced together is going to be the Joker Part 2 or the Joker 2. I'm just, I eat that movie up, and I'm sorry. I eat it up.
Left off of our mentions completely have been Godzilla x Kong, have been the new Planet of the Apes movie, Kraven, Madam Web. Beyond the Spider-Verse might come out in 2024, but I believe it's been pushed to 2025. Do we feel any regrets that we left out some huge pick.
No,
I'm good.
I think I was like, I think I'm solid. Curious about the other ones that we list off, but I'm not as anticipated as like the top 5 that we've given.
Yeah.
And also our top 5s definitely speak to ourselves, and it's like, yeah, these are exactly what Jessica and Erik would be anticipating. I'm excited. I'm gonna go see the other movies, of course.
Yes,
You
I'll
think
see
I'm
all
not
of
gonna
these.
see a King Kong movie? That's crazy.
Yeah, for sure I'm going to be lining up for that one. All right, we're going to do the same thing for our TV shows. But first, thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. You can love holiday season and also admit that it's stressful. Travel, time with family, marking time with New Year's, it can be a lot. And if you feel like you could use a little help with it all, try connecting with a licensed therapist by using BetterHelp. Starting therapy can be hard. The right therapist for you may not be in your area, and some people struggle with the face-to-face interaction of therapy. With BetterHelp, you can have your therapy sessions as a phone call, as a video chat, even via messaging if you prefer that, whatever is the most comfortable version of therapy for you. Just click the link in the description and answer a few questions about what you're looking for from therapy and what your preferences are. BetterHelp will then match you with a therapist from their network that's right for you. If you don't really fit with that therapist, which is a common thing with therapy, you can easily switch to a therapist for no additional cost without stressing about insurance, who's in your network, or anything like that. If you think that you might benefit from therapy, consider BetterHelp. Click the link in the description or visit betterhelp.com/newrockstars. Clicking that link helps support this channel and also gets you 10% off your first month of BetterHelp so that you can connect with a therapist and see if it helps you. Be sure to check out nerdride.shop where you can always grab the latest and greatest New Rockstars gear. We just put up some new designs inspired by What If Season 2. Hey, what a great show that was, guys. That finale, incredible, right? Bwah! Oh my God. So support the channel and check out our great merch options over at nerdriot.shop. And don't forget to subscribe to all 3 channels of New Rockstars Network, The Break Room, New Rockstars, and The Deep Dive. All right, let's jump into television/streaming. And we'll do the same thing.
So my number 5. This is hard. It's crazy because a lot of TV shows have been like bumped, but or a lot of movies been bumped, but the TV shows are still there. And I'm like,
or yeah, we don't know yet. Yeah.
Or we don't know yet. That's true. But I'm like, I know these 5, and I think there's more on the list for sure than there were for movies that I'm missing, and I'm actually disappointed that I couldn't put on the list. My number 5 is starting with Stranger Things. And it's very low on the list. I understand. But I think it's because compared to the other series that I put on my list, we've spent the most time with Stranger Things. It's the closing of Stranger Things. And unless they kill a child, I'm not going to be happy. What?
Whoa.
We all are saying the same thing. We're all saying the same thing. We're all saying the same thing. Kill a child.
I completely agree. Stranger Things did not make my list, but narrowly did. It's just, as the seasons of Stranger Things have gone on, I've just missed the glory of that first season. It's just lost a bit more of its luster. I think season 4 was really good. It's just, it was indulgently long for some of those episodes. And they dropped it all. Well, they didn't. No, they did in 2 chunks, so never mind. But it felt like...
I think it was one of the episodes where I was like, this does not need to be that long. I was like, I don't need every point of view of every single child in this, especially this one that's going to die in the next episode. But anyways, I
am pumped for it though. I think it'll be fun.
I think I put it as my number 5 because we've been all watching the show for so long. It's one of those shows where it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna watch this, and as soon as it drops, I'm going to watch it. We are keeping up with it. We are obsessed with the lore. So I put it. That's why it's my number 5. It's my number 5.
My number 5 is X-Men 97.
That's interesting.
We don't know for sure as of this taping when it's going to drop, and we think it's going to be 2024. Kevin Feige keeps bringing it up in interviews, so I think he's like ready to drop it. I love the 90s animated series. I don't think they would have brought this back if they're going to do something that just feels completely like too much just for kids. I think they're going to be doing a lot of interesting stuff in X-Men 97. I think we're going to be shocked. Like, it's going to be like what If was, you know? How What If season 1 and season 2, just like, we felt that like, what even is this show? Is it for kids? And then surprisingly, it's like emotionally moving and has some great animation, some great action. Yeah, this show's going to rock.
I think it's going to be amazing. I'm going to love it. But I do think it's going to have the same feel that X-Men 97 did have before.
Or the original, yeah.
Or the original, yeah. I think it's going to feel like that. And that would, by proxy, still make it kind of a kid's show. I don't think it's going to be as crazy as What If. Because What If came out now. And I think it's the nostalgia for X-Men 97 that people are excited to go see it. And I just don't think that they're going to make it that crazy. I think it's going to be like, But maybe I'm wrong. I've been wrong a lot of times in my life. Okay, my number 4 is Arcane. And it always will be Arcane. Because Arcane is a great... Yeah, it'll always be number 4. I don't care how good that show is. It's staying at number 4. And Arcane is supposed to come out in around Christmas, or I think it's like November or winter of 2024. We're all hoping it should. I think it's a great show. I'm very excited for where it's going to go. I love the first season. It's beautiful. It's impeccable. It's great. And the second season better be just as good. So I'm watching it. That's my number 4.
I need to get caught up on Arcane. I gotta watch it.
Good. I watched it in one night because I got so obsessed with it. It was addictive. It was insane how alluring it was, and the second season will just be as good. I've been waiting forever. We're all waiting.
My number 4 is, as of this statement, we don't have a release date, but I think it's gonna be 2024. The Acolyte, the Star Wars series.
Oh, the Acolyte! You're excited for the Acolyte? I not in a mean way. Not in a mean way.
So excited for the Acolyte. Leslie Headland and Carrie-Anne Moss is going to be in the Acolyte. I don't think Carrie-Anne Moss. Carrie-Anne Moss also did Matrix Resurrections, and that movie was poo on a stick. But the Acolyte looks, from just like the footage that's I was able to see leak from whatever Celebration was. I think that show's gonna be so cool. I think it's gonna be really good. I'm so excited for it.
I just don't hear a lot of people talking about it, and maybe it's because there's like a lot of stuff going on right now that they're like, there's a lot of things. But I'm like, oh yeah, the Acolyte. Everybody, please go watch it. There is a lot of people in the Acolyte that I love more than anything.
And fun. Yeah,
I'm very excited for it. I hope everybody watches it and everybody loves it just like they loved Andor. Okay, this is annoying. This is frustrating. But my number 3 is House of the Dragon. Is Hot D. Is the Hot D.
Okay, that's my number 3 as well.
Oh,
so let's talk about it.
We did it! Well, I'm nervous what your 2 are because you put X-Men as you put weird you put weird ones as your 5.
I have some weird picks. There's probably going to be other shows that come out. House of the Dragon would be higher, but there's just like, it's not like season 3 Game of Thrones, but it's still really good TV. And I'm super, because now like the weird stuff of season 1 of House of the Dragon is behind us, of the weird time jumps and us just getting to know an actor and then they get recast in episode 6 or whatever. No, we got our cast locked in. It's a great cast. These are some really good actors, and we have some really, really insane drama that's ahead of us from Fire and Blood, and I'm pumped.
I'm scared having like read the book, being like, oh, how much of this part are they gonna take? I think it's number 3 only because I'm excited for the other 2 a little bit more. But I am, when House of the Dragon was on, those nights of watching it felt like Game of Thrones again, of like, everybody get down, we're watching. Everybody get on, we're watching. Get off Twitter, do everything you can. Like it was like lockdown. You had to watch it. It was so nice, and I want that vibe back so bad. So that's why it's at my 3. Oh, my number 2. I don't know about you. My number 2 is Echo. My number 2 is Echo. I need to see it. I just need to see it. And that trailer is insane. No one thought we were going to get up freaking like with the most respect, Echo. None of us were thinking we were gonna get like a Guy Ritchie style British like gangster trailer. I was like, this is crazy. There's a lot of blood. This is insane. I was not expecting some literal like thug ass trailer, and it was. It feels like what GTA trailers are. It was so dark and gritty. It felt like something that would be on FX. I need to see it. And greatest birthday gift they could ever give me.
Echo did not make my top 5. It would have made my top 10. Would have made my top. What do you mean understandable?
Okay. Wait, take that back. I don't mean understandable. It's different people, different vibes, and I'm like, hey,
I think it'll be pretty
this is crazy trailer, and I'm gonna eat it up.
That trailer did get me really pumped. I am very excited. I'm going to be watching all of that. I'm excited to have that. I think it's going to be pretty fun. My number 2, though, is a different MCU series coming in 2024. And of course, it is Agatha Darkhold Diaries. I am so excited for Agatha. I don't care what that show ends up being. Just think, all right, just if you were to tell me, hey, there's going to be a show that has Catherine Hahn in it, it has Aubrey Plaza in it, has
Yeah.
Sashir Zameda in it, Patty LuPone is in it.
Yeah.
I
Honestly,
don't care what universe that's in. That's
Yeah.
I mean, hell yeah, I'm in.
My mistake was forgetting Patty LuPone is in it. It's crazy how that meter goes up like 12 notches because they got Patty LuPone. People that are watching this that are like, yeah, it's Patty LuPone. No, it's Patty LuPone.
It's Patty LuPone.
that's
I mean, she's a great.
Patty LuPone is like, I don't even know how to give an example of what Patty LuPone means to people that isn't Patty LuPone. When she showed up in Beau is Afraid, I went, they got Patty LuPone. I thought that was so insane. When she showed up in Steven Universe, I was like, how did Rebecca Sugar get Patty LuPone? Like,
She's so Patty LuPone is incredible. Famous Broadway legend. For anyone who's uninitiated, has been in pretty much every single one of Stephen Sondheim's shows. Like, and did one of the best. Like, she did an incredible Ladies Who Lunch in a reunion cast from Company. She's been Sweeney Todd. She was Mama Rose and Gypsy. She's been in everything.
She's just Patty LuPone, and seeing her as a witch is the equivalent of like seeing Stevie Nicks as a witch. It's like, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. this legend of a human being knows witchcraft 100%. Understandable. She's been using it to make herself immortal for the rest of her life. Oh, God.
And what's your number one?
My number one. Are you ready?
Do it.
Are you ready? Do it. It goes as no surprise that Jessica Clemons is the most excited for The Boys.
Oh, yes.
Wow, you out of your mind? You're out of your mind? Gen V ruined me in the best way possible. In the best way possible. Like, I already love The Boys, but Gen V coming and tearing it up and reminding me where like, Gen V felt like season 1 of The Boys so much that I was like, this is insane. This is perfectly tailored. I love how they're weaving the boys in this and not heavy-handedly. It's more catered to the college students. What are they going to do with the boys now that with the information that we all got from Gen V? Where can they go? Keep fucking going. I'm so excited for the boys. You're out of your mind, dude.
The Boys is a good pick.
What'd you pick for your number one?
I should have put the boys in my top 5.
You should have. That's why I said.
But I won X-Men 97 and the Acolyte. Y'all leave me alone.
That's what the X-Men one, when I said interesting, because I thought your 5th would be the boys. I was so surprised that the boys was not
okay, fair enough. I'm still sticking with X-Men 97. I think, because I love the boys. I love the boys in Gen V. I completely agree with you. It does this thing that House of the Dragon does where I don't want to sound like a prude, but it's just like so violent and so excessive. And while I'd be okay with the boys continuing to do that, they're also franchising out and becoming exactly what the MCU is that they're making fun of. You know, like they have the Boys Mexico. And it's like, are you going to be able to still have the satiric edge when you're also just making as much money as MCU shows are?
Good, that's what they've been doing. I love that they're like mimicking what Disney is, even with VOT International TV. I'm like, oh yeah, here's all their weird TV programs of their weird celebrity superheroes. I'm like, I think that's why I eat up the boys so much, is how, like, if meta's the right word, it is. I'm just genuinely like, I love the foreshadowing because I don't eat this up enough. But did I like the foreshadowing with what they did at the end of Gen V? Absolutely not. I almost threw my head through a TV. I hated the finale of Gen V in the best way possible. It was a great finale. Thank God they're getting a season 2, or else I'd run up into Amazon Studios and go crazy.
My number one is Andor season 2.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
I mean, look, Andor season 1 was so good. I don't care. I mean, there's plenty of debate that's been well trod about, within the Star Wars fandom. But for my money, God, Andor just kind of came out of nowhere to be my favorite Star Wars show that came out in 2022, right? Yeah, that's when that came out. I liked it more than Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
Definitely better than The Mandalorian. I liked Andor better than Ahsoka. I liked Andor better than pretty much anything Star Wars has done. And yes, some of the episodes were just kind of like, we're just existing in this world, having interesting conversations right now. But that's what I loved about it. And knowing what we know about season 2 is it's going to be like, we started out 5 years out from Battle of Yavin, and now we're going to do like a couple episodes every year getting up. It's going to feel like Rogue One felt. Like it's or specifically the final act of Rogue One, where it's just like, we're cooking with gas now. I I mean, I was so blown away by season 1. I just don't see how they screwed up for season 2. I'm just so excited.
I hope they
show.
don't. Look, I hope they don't. But also, Andor being number 1 makes sense. It makes sense. I think Andor number 1 makes sense for a lot of people, and so does The Boys for a lot of people.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
That makes sense. Andor is probably a lot of people's most anticipated thing, and everybody should go watch it so they get a 3rd season.
Some things we left off from our list. No Squid Game season 2 on either of our lists, and is
it coming out?
I think it is coming out in 2024. The reason I left it off was just like season 1 was so good.
Yes,
that showrunner had to come up with season 2 pretty fast. And it seems to me that it's going to be like a True Detective thing where he spent years of his life developing season 1 and made it so good. And then season 2 is just going to forget like what. 100%. I don't know. I just have some concerns.
I agree. I have concern. I'm nervous about it. I am very nervous about it. I'm going to watch it.
It's going to be like what Stranger Things season 2 was. Netflix is going to be like, here's another like $80 million to make a 2nd season. They're like, oh, okay. And then they don't take as long to write it.
What other shows are we missing? Just Squid Game?
We got Squid Game. There's probably some. There's going to be a new True Detective, Jodie Foster True Detective, season 4. I think that will be pretty good.
Oh yeah.
There'll be a White Lotus Thailand, right?
White Lotus would probably be genuinely my number 6. Would be number 6.
White Lotus has always just been great TV, you know?
Good.
Like it's so weird and all over the place, but great.
Are we getting The Bear?
The Bear got renewed for a 3rd season that is shooting in 2024, but it might come out by the end of the year. Last of Us is going to begin shooting in February. I don't think it will come before December. I think it will come out in 2025. I feel pretty good about our picks. I think we covered our bases.
I mean, you didn't put The Boys on your list, but yeah.
There's also Umbrella Academy, right?
Oh, I didn't even put that on my list.
Jessica, how dare you?
I know. If I could change it, I think Umbrella Academy would be easily like, it would be 3. It would be 3. It would
okay,
solid 3. But I'll keep what my list was. But I love Umbrella Academy, and it's their final season, and I'm still gonna love it.
Let us know in the comments below what we missed from our lists, from our top 5 movies and top 5 shows. But we're gonna be covering lots of stuff on New Rockstars in the new year. But this is like the stuff I'm most excited about and what Jess is most excited to watch. And we'll leave it there for this episode of The Sneak Peek. Happy New Year, Jess.
Happy New Year.
Be sure to follow New Rockstars on all socials. Follow Jess at Lulu_Clemons. You can follow me at EA Voss. And we'll see everybody in 2025. Goodbye. No, 2024. What year is it? Yikes.
Oh my God, he's dying. Eat 12 grapes.
My baby's crying. I have to go. Bye, everybody.